We rocking and rolling, brother?
We are rocking and rolling.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Been a minute.
It has. Yeah, well, I've been...
yeah, where have you been, Daryl?
A little down with COVID.
Down with COVID.
Yeah, man, it messed up.
Like, just when you think that's over.
I know. And, I dodged some... Family had some, and I dodged all that, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And around... I know there was people, I got a few phone calls. Hey, just so you know, I got it or whatever. I was around them, and this was my attitude on it. If I got it, I got it. I wasn't going to stop living.
Right.
I did not get vaccinated, and that was my choice, But
sure.
My body, my choice. But I just figured if I get it, I get it, and I'll deal with it,
Right.
And yeah, and pretty much everyone's over it.
Right.
I think it was, we went to a concert.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was on a Saturday, and I came down with it Tuesday. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as it could have been,
Right.
It really didn't. It's funny, I didn't have no cough or anything to speak of during it. Mm-hmm. I had fever and body aches just for a couple days, but it drained me, man, big time. Mm-hmm. Messed up my turkey hunting and put off some bear baiting, and but the cough started like after I was done, and it's been kind of lingering now for well over a week.
Yeah,
because it's been 3 weeks plus since I had it.
I think that can stick around for a while.
That's what I hear.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't mess my bear, because I'm going to be sitting my bear bait tomorrow night. I hope it don't screw that up.
Yeah. Well, I got my bear bait set too while you were sick.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna help.
Yeah, that didn't work out very well.
No, but man, you got Scarface is back.
Scarface, yeah. I'll try to remember to put some photos up for you guys from 2 years ago. Was he
around last year? Did he show up?
We did get some. Darn, I don't remember if we got pictures of him last year or not. To be honest with you, I want to say we did not.
He's a slob, man.
He is a big one.
Yeah,
but he's no dummy.
No.
And
the thing he got going for you this year is that he's showing up during the day.
Yeah. He's shown up both night and during shooting light. So early mornings,
Good.
Which can be kind of challenging getting to my spot without making much noise.
Just got to get in there early.
Yeah.
I had a bear on Ken's bait one time, and I was just getting night hit, sows and cubs. Mm-hmm. And I took someone with me, and they wanted to just see a bear. And the bear was showing, he sat, almost felt bad. He sat like 13 nights and 11 mornings waiting for this bear, and never came in when he was there. First morning, I show up.
Oh, jeez.
But the bear heard me turn, his blind, it was out of a blind.
Yeah.
His blind was only 20 yards. Okay. And I turned the camera on, and he heard it.
Oh, yeah.
So
they will.
He took off, and he ended up going downwind and woofed, and stayed there for a while. And then I moved the blind back to 32 yards and sat there that evening. But I didn't take the camera because I was so fearful of, this was my older camera, and it made a noise, a beeping noise.
Right.
Anyway, he came back in that evening, and I killed him.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. I don't know, that many days, he had to be doing something wrong.
I don't know.
Scent, maybe?
Honestly, it was like, I feel in a ground blind, I always like to put mine farther back. They're so noise sensitive.
Right.
I don't know.
How far back do you set your blind?
Well, when I have sat it, I'm that 30 plus. I always try to be that 30 plus.
Okay.
And I know that he was very, very aware of scent and stuff, and so I know that shouldn't have been an issue.
Right.
But you never know. You just hear. So that bear, when he heard that noise and ran off, I kicked myself because I told myself, I bet he tries to come downwind. And I should have, because he ran off, I should have just opened up a window in the back, because it wasn't less than 10 minutes. And he came right up to the blind within 10 yards. And I heard, and he took off. So I don't know. I mean, my point is he might have been that whole time checking that downwind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard him on mine before, making the loop around and whatnot. And, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
But,
well, hopefully Scarface, he makes an appearance when...
I hope so. Honestly, we've had him a few different years. We've had pictures of him, never had daylight pictures. Ever. And this year... He's
getting a little ballsy.
I don't know what's going on. He made a mistake, but he's got to make that mistake while I'm there.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
He literally just started hitting. I checked baits yesterday, rebaited and stuff, and he had just started the day before, like 2 days. So he'd been hitting for 2 days. Huh. And I had him, and then I have another cinnamon, pretty good, decent sized bear, but I think it's a sow, not cinnamon, but a blonde.
Oh,
and so it's a decent sized bear too. So we'll see. I have 2 cameras set up on that bait site, and I forgot to turn one of them on.
Oh,
so and the other one, the one that I got the pictures of him in, was kind of at a bit of a funky angle. I didn't set it right.
Not like you normally do?
Well, I put it on a different tree. I was trying something different. And, it didn't work very well. But it was good enough, right? So I was able to get pictures of him. But you're just seeing, like, the top third of the can.
Yeah.
And then you'll get their back. If they're feeding, you're just seeing the top of his back. But when he's sitting there, you see his face really well.
And the scar.
Yeah. Which is exciting.
Yeah, I hope you get him. And he's...
I don't know. I honestly kind of gave up on him for a while because we never, like I said, never got flipping daytime pictures of him. Now all of a sudden, here he is.
Yeah.
Full color.
So maybe next week when you...
so I'm heading up. Well, I'll go sit for a couple of days probably next week.
Good.
See what happens.
Good.
I have to get my my Timberline swing. Why my brain went blank. But yeah, my tree saddle. That's what
okay. Yeah.
I got to get that, take that up there with me and whatnot. That's going to be fun. I'm totally excited to try that out. So
nice.
We'll see.
Yeah, I've got mine all ready to go. I just need to take it up. I got some of the steps up and everything. And
do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I plan on doing. I'll go up early, set up all my stuff, and then hunt that evening.
The only thing I got to put on there really that it's going to take a minute is my camera, the G-Pod thing.
Oh, okay.
But that won't take long. But
yeah, I got to get all that stuff set up. I haven't taken any of that up there yet. So.
Oh, you hadn't?
No, I need to. I'm that guy,
Well, you got plenty of time still.
It's true. It's true. I don't sit a whole lot until right that last week of the season because those sows tend to come into heat.
Yeah.
And then the boars will more often, more likely come in during shooting light than before they come into heat. So.
A lot of people are whacking them, though. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on social media.
Gosh, a lot of people are crushing it already.
Yeah. Some good bears, too.
Yeah, I've seen some nice ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Well, the cards I was dealt with the COVID just kind of did what it is. Right. So I'm just going to go with it, man.
Right.
That's all I can do.
So you got your set a little late. You haven't
later than I planned.
Set a little later. And no luck yet. No, nothing hitting yet. Or...
Well, it's been 2 weeks. I haven't having a chance to get up this last week, but I'd feel that I'd be super surprised if it's not ready to go now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the barrel's full and got plenty of scent stuff out, and that was a new area that I hadn't baited, that one particular spot. So I know there's bears. The thing about bear hunting, for the most part, they're going to find it. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take.
Very true.
And I've had them hit in new bait sites 3 days, and then I've had to take a couple weeks.
Right.
So
right.
Just go with it.
Well, this site where Scarface is hitting, we've talked about this before, but it's a site I've been baiting for years, and some years it's hit the next day.
Oh.
And then other years, it'll take a couple, 3 weeks.
Well, this
sometimes.
year you checked it a week later. It
Yep.
wasn't hit.
Yeah,
Huh?
so it was. So yeah, it looked like he started coming in just 2 days. So it was about 10 days, I would say, 10, 11 days maybe before it got hit at all.
Huh.
But then now it's going to be. It always does this. I'll get 5 or 6 bears, and man, you can go through a barrel of food in like 3 days.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets tough to keep it baited.
Yeah.
So it's more and more trips, and but
Do you have time between now and when you're going to hunt to get up there for a morning?
no,
You don't have no late shifts?
Well, I do, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be quite a day if I started that early and then had to work all night. So I probably won't hunt. But it's only 5 days, so
That's true.
so that's fine.
Yeah.
I got to get more popcorn popped,
Oh,
and so I can rebait again when I get up there.
gotcha.
So
See, you got some the new season hunter swag.
Yeah, turned out super cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get some of those printed up. We got some different colors. This color, if you guys are listening, you probably can't see it obviously, but it's kind of a maroon color shirt, and we don't. It was just a test shirt. We don't really have those yet, but we like this color. So
Yeah.
So we'll definitely hammer some of those out. We'll get some ready to roll. But we have green, like an olive military greenish kind of, and
Tannish.
kind of a creamy tannish one, which is pretty slick. I like that color a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah. So those will be ready to go here pretty quick.
Yeah, we got to get just next week. Figure we get some
Yep. Get some printed up. Yep. Pretty
Yeah.
excited. I'm happy with how they turned out.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
You
Yeah.
never know.
We've
until
got quite a few people that are wanting them, so
yeah, we better get that
they'll be
going.
on their way soon. We'll be posting some stuff here.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as we get some photos and whatnot.
Yeah. Speaking, we were talking about baiting earlier. When I went to take up the barrel, my Everly stock frame and I had the bag on it and the bat wings, and
Right.
then I had an old pack frame. I thought, you know what? I thought I'm just going to throw that barrel on that old pack frame.
Right.
Oh man.
Bad idea.
I mean, I got like 50 yards away from my truck, and had I not had my trailer quite a ways away, I'd have went and turned around and went and got it because the Everly stock. Because man, I tell you what, I have a hot spot on my back.
Did you?
Yeah, and then the next day, I probably took up, I don't know, 70, 80 pounds of bait on the pack frame.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even feel a thing.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was just weight, you know. But as far as I mean, the padding's so good and the belt system's so good.
Yeah.
It just was just.
I've been packing my bait with my Everly stock pack for the frame, the main frame or whatever.
Yeah.
The last few years, I've had it. I think this is my third baiting season with it, and it's been a lifesaver for sure.
Yeah, I told myself, I think I might just get rid of that other pack frame because somebody I know uses. I got a couple older pack frames that I
I have an old one that I have packed a barrel on, and I still will sometimes. It's just, but you're right. Yeah, the comfort level's just not there. But I hate to get that greasy old barrel on my darn pack,
and that's kind of part of the reason too. I was thinking, but then what I did was I put the bait in a plastic bag.
Yeah.
And then in a big meat bag I had.
Yeah.
And put it on there, and then nothing got on there. So.
Right.
And also the barrel, I figured I pack a barrel out on it. I'll just put something padded because I don't know. I mean, the pack's so nice and everything. You worry about something, But like I was over at Everly Stock a few days ago and was telling these guys about that, and they were like, "Put it through the test," because I told them, well, "What if the barrel?" I was a little bit worried about the barrel if it would wear anything down, and they don't care their warranty.
Oh, okay.
So that was good to know. It made me feel like, all right, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this. That's what they want, even though I haven't been afraid at all to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, with the exception of, like I said, I was just worried about the metal wearing on. It was all metal to metal, but I can't say enough good about that. Having that shelf,
the shelf
makes
awesome,
a world of difference when it comes to weight.
Right.
Just I think,
I
as
agree.
opposed to the soft ones that move.
Yeah.
You can cinch it down a lot tighter.
Right. Well, and then when I'm just packing like bags of popcorn, that shelf is huge. You know, it keeps, you can't strap popcorn super tight because it moves around in that bag quite a bit, you know, so that shelf on the bottom, it just works perfectly to keep them from, because I've had my flipping, you know, the popcorn slide off the kind of work its way down and I'll have to stop and readjust in the past and stuff. And I don't worry about that with that shelf.
Yeah, nice.
It's been a lifesaver for sure.
Good. So, good. So for gear, as far as like, what do you put, like when you're bear hunting? Or actually, do you pretty much carry pretty much the same stuff when you're bear hunting, elk hunting, and
I probably don't carry as much stuff bear hunting because I'm just going to a specific spot. And usually, like if I'm up there for the week, that I always take that last week of the season off. I'll get all my stuff up there, and then most of it just stays there, with the exception of like my bow and sometimes I'll leave my camera on the arm up there too, depending on what the weather's like, just so I don't have to because I have others that I can carry in. You know,
gotcha.
I'll use a different camera on the way in and whatnot. So no, I definitely don't. I'll leave water up there or a bottle of Gatorade. The tree I sit in's got this perfect little pocket. It's like a shelf, and I can set all kinds of stuff in there, and then I just leave it there until it's gone.
Hell, I've left my bow. I can't tell you how many times I've left my bow.
Well,
and took my camera because I was worried about, because a lot of times those mountains, I just always worry about those afternoon.
Right.
If it says anything about being cloudy, I always assume it's going to sprinkle.
It's true. That is true.
Have you ever had yours rained on?
Not when I left it there, no. Like when I'm sitting, I have, and I'll cover it with something usually, or I've taken it off if it got real bad.
Yeah.
But I always take my bow out because so many times I've had bears on the bait when I come in, and I've killed, 2 or 3 from the ground as they were sitting there when I came in, So.
It's probably going to end up happening to me. It's like getting caught with your pants down for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I've killed the same thing. I've walked up on them too.
And I've made that mistake leaving my bow there and walk up and there's a flipping bear sitting on the side. Oh, yeah. And you can't do anything,
Yeah. Even though I got a pistol,
I remember one time when I first started baiting there, I was climbing up the ladder to my tree stand, and my buddy Frank was up there with. We had 2 tree stands in the same tree right next to each other, and he had climbed up and sat down, and I climbed up. I didn't even get to my seat, and Frank's like, "There's a bear," and I turn around. There's a flipping bear coming into the site, and I'm standing there with my back to the site.
No!
But it wasn't a very big one, and so it wasn't that big a deal. We weren't going to shoot it anyway, but it was pretty funny.
I did walk up one time, and I tied my bow on the rope to hoist it up.
Yep.
And I took like maybe 1 or 2 steps up and went kind of clear my throat because I try to get all that out before you're sitting there,
Sure.
And I heard something and I turned and when I walked up there was like a dead rotted log. They're kind of reddish.
Yeah.
And I saw something, and it was like that same color. And it was bear laying right by that log.
Oh, is that right?
And at a quick glance, I didn't really see it, and it was only 30 yards at the most. Mm-hmm. And I remember, like I said, I glanced over there, saw the red, and just started getting, because I wanted to hurry up, get in the tree. I was kind of running late.
Right.
But anyway, I heard a noise, and I turned around, and he had sat up, and I went, my bow's tied up. Nice pair.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a nice pair. I'd have shot him for sure. Real pretty cinnamon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried to move slow, but I had to step down to get my bow, and it's gone.
Right.
Oh well.
Right. What do you do?
But gear wise, I know I find myself for bears. Probably the biggest thing is clothes.
Yes.
Because you end up
you're sitting
layering
still.
up.
Absolutely, and that's something else I'll just leave up there in that tree is a heavy jacket because I don't want to carry that in and out every flipping day. But it's nice to have it, up there when you start. As soon as that sun starts going down, even if it's pretty hot out that day, it gets cold in a hurry.
Yeah,
and so,
I put something over my feet. I don't know about you, but I put like those wool overshoes, or like the cat's paw from
Okay.
Native by Carlton carries these
Yeah.
ones called cat's paw, and they're like a really thick felt.
Okay.
And I put those on the bottom of my boots, even on stands or whatever, but it just helps muffle.
Never thought of that. That is,
Yeah.
I've always worried about that too. That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah, and it's just
Huh.
got a little bit more so you can
Yeah.
move them around
Yeah, that makes total sense. Shoot.
and learn something.
Even I can learn something on this podcast.
Yeah, that's something I've done for a lot of years, and
That's cool.
a lot of times the stands or whatever you're on, standing on,
Yeah.
are metal. So, and that hard rubber just
Right. Yeah, exactly. Gosh. Yeah, so many times. Yeah, the bears have heard you,
Yeah.
will hear you.
Yeah.
You know, and where I'm at, it's pretty thick. So a lot of times, depending on the angle they come in, you don't see them till they're
right there.
right there,
Yeah.
and then it's shoot, you got to be so flipping quiet.
Isn't it amazing for big animals that even elk? I mean, elk do seem like they
Yeah.
make more noise,
Yeah.
breaking sticks and stuff. But those bears, they're soft pads.
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many times I'm like,
It blows. I've had them literally walk. Never saw them until of course, they came from behind me, but walk right under your tree stand. Several times I've had this happen, and you don't even know they're there until you see them, and they're just right below you.
Yeah.
You could almost pet them.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
They're so quiet.
They are. They are. Like I said, even elk, I've had them sneak up, like sometimes them bulls will come in silent,
Right.
and they sneak up, and then you might hear something,
Right.
but a lot of times you don't.
Right.
Even with them, a couple times that's giving them away with their antlers or turning their head
True.
to get
Yeah.
through there.
And I think too, as the season progresses, like those, this is just the side I hunt, and it's probably true elsewhere, but they tend to come in on the same path.
Oh, yeah.
So towards the end of the like, there's nothing for them to break.
Right.
It's just dirt, right?
True.
So like,
Yeah.
it's just walking down the same darn path.
Yeah.
And you got to stay on point, which
Yeah.
I'm not very good at.
I know. I
I
find
tend to play
myself.
solitaire on myself.
Me too. I was just gonna say I play the same thing.
So I used to. Okay, this is a little pro tip too, by the way. I used to play. What was it? Angry Birds. Years ago, and so I'd be playing Angry Birds on my phone, just wasting time, And but the problem was you got to pay attention to your phone too much. It's hard to look up and down. So then
So you don't get angry?
I realized that hey, solitaire is the way to go because you can make a move and then you can look up and you can make a move, whatever. You don't have to. You don't have to be focused on your phone the whole time. And
Well, for many years, I went back to Illinois hunting whitetail years ago, and my guide, which him and I ended up becoming good friends, Jeff, he gave me his solitaire game, and so I started playing that in there. He took the sound off and everything.
Right.
Well, then I ended up buying one before I left. There we went into town, and so I bought one, and I had that sucker for years, and then it died. So I bought another one, had that for years. And I remember even a mouse ate, they're like rubber buttons.
Yep.
And a mouse ate a couple of those off. I'd have a hard
that's
time
hilarious.
going back and stuff. But anyway, it died. You can't find them anymore.
yeah.
So I went in and downloaded one on my phone.
Yeah,
But that burns up battery. And
it does. Yeah, another pro tip.
Yeah.
I'm giving all kinds of pro tips today, apparently. I always take an extra charger and cord.
Me too.
Yeah, so when you're sitting there, you
Yeah.
burn through your battery, you can recharge that. That is something I usually will keep in my pack, too.
Me too, yeah.
When I'm hiking and stuff, because I use my phone a lot. I film with my phone a lot.
Yeah.
For quick stuff.
Yeah.
Just because it's convenient.
Yeah.
But then you burn through that, quite a bit.
Yep. For
So,
sure.
Anyway.
There was something else that I was able to get not too long ago, or a couple years ago. I guess it was last year, no, the year before. Was holder for my cell phone that you can attach to the tree, which is kind of nice when you're drawing back. And you
That's
can
a really
film
good
them too.
idea, actually. But I have my tray arm for my camera.
Yeah, me too.
Even that, like, you got to be careful in the bears because they will see you move, even though they don't have super awesome eyesight.
I always consider their eyesight to be about as good as ours.
Yeah.
And
right.
I don't know really how close it is. I've never researched that.
Right.
So I just kind of feel like, okay, if they're in eyesight range, quick moves is the biggest thing.
Right.
You just got to watch your quick moves.
Yeah,
You got to make it
exactly.
super slow.
I almost wonder if a lot of times they don't, because their hearing is unbelievable, don't actually hear you moving versus seeing you move,
Yeah, so quiet close is a big, for any hunting.
Any hunting, yeah, and especially for stuff like that.
Yeah, when you're sitting in it.
Yeah, because you're
in one spot.
Right. And you're, I'm not in a blind. You sit in a tree stand. How's that going? Daryl's struggling today. We apologize ahead of time.
Yeah.
But
a blind can cover some of that.
Exactly,
but when you're exposed.
Up in a tree, it's just like a straight shot, so.
And you're higher,
like
so it'll carry.
Okay,
could carry a little farther.
Yeah. And anyway, so I do feel like they hear you more than see you. You just got to be careful. Some of them don't care.
No.
Have you ever had that?
Yeah, it seems like I've had a few bears that, but it seemed, at least my experience has been, it was the ones that are like boss hog. I mean, the smaller ones, they're like on point,
right?
Where the ones that know that it's their bait and they kind of call the shots, they're not as concerned about other.
Yeah, that's true. And I think we've talked, hit on that a little bit. Is like, it's almost easier, if you can get them to come in during the daylight, it's easier to kill a bigger bear than a smaller one because they're not flipping scared. They don't care. Well,
like that bear I was talking about earlier where the camera went off. I mean, it's a foreign noise, that camera clicking on and making that noise. And I feel like that's what did it for that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. Part of the challenge, right?
Yep.
Another thing I do too, it's kind of fun, is I put GoPros in trees around the gate.
Yeah.
If I remember, I'll post, as we're talking about this, I'll throw that on there. But you get some of the coolest shots for those bears. It's nice to get a different angle. This is just for whatever, if you're filming your hunts or whatever. But
and you just do it with your phone, right? You have an app?
No, I can, but it tends to I try not to use my phone for that stuff, but I have a remote for my GoPros that I just hit it with the remote and it controls all of them. So I have 2 on trees, and then a lot of times I'll put one on me in my tree. So I'll run 3 GoPros off that one.
For some reason I thought it was your phone.
No, I do have an app where I can do it, but I found I got better connection with the remote.
Okay.
It'll hook to those cameras faster.
That's why I haven't did it, because I've threatened about.
But I'm afraid of the bears eating them, and I almost had that happen one time. He went right up to the tree, and I'll show this video, but he went right up to the tree, and he stuck his nose right on that thing, and he fogged up the GoPro, and then he left. He didn't leave, but he went back to the bait and started eating. I ended up killing that bear. It was one of my better bears, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, he was a pretty good one. But I thought for sure I was going to lose that GoPro. But these are like, I've held on to these 2 GoPros for that. That's the only thing I use them for. They're like GoPro 3s or something. I think they're up to 10s now. But so that way it's like, well, if they do get 8, who cares?
Yeah.
They're 7 years old, but they work great. So the only bummer with them is the batteries don't last very long. So I got to make sure you got to charge them every single time you use them. And then I keep them off until there's an actual bear on the
gotcha.
Bait, so.
One time one friend of mine, we were baiting together, and we had a bear box, that you put your camera in so the bears can't chew your camera up.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, did you put the lock on it? And he's like, no. And I said, man, for me personally, I've always put the lock on it. More so, I don't want the bears to get in it because they're kind of mischievous. They can be.
Yep.
Sure shit, man. I go back there, lids off, GoPro or the trail cameras down the hill, chewed up.
Right.
And
I've had that happen. Well, when we first started, I had two truck cameras, but I didn't have boxes for them, so I just strapped in the tree.
oh,
Yeah, that was a mistake. One got chewed up. The other one I found it down the flipping trail a ways. They carried it and then dropped it. But I've had them. The one I have, one of the ones I still have, it was in a metal box and they still got their teeth and kind of tore the little plastic thing. Yeah, it works fine. But
wow.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's when I look for trail cameras for bears. Or trail cameras in general. I want to make sure they got a box available,
right?
Because I know I'll end up using
Absolutely
it for that.
Yeah, those boxes are pretty critical when it comes to bear hunting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like screwing mine in as opposed to, I know a lot of guys, but those cables work pretty good too. The ones you can run a cable through the box and hold them on, but. Straps, I just don't trust.
No.
I know some guys who put their barrels up with straps. I don't trust them. I always think if there's any type of scent on there, something
It's true.
I
use ratchet straps.
Do you?
Yeah, just because I used to use chains, but I got tired of hauling them in and out of there, and so we started. I think it started with we just didn't have a chain with us one time or whatever, and we were going to temporarily use the ratchet straps. And
so you never had them chew yours?
I have, but not very often. Like only a couple times, and I'll put two on there. And usually, if they chew one. The other one keeps the can right there.
Oh,
I've only had one time where they chewed through, and I found my barrel down the drainage ways. Yeah, but that was years ago. So, I haven't had that issue since then. So.
One time, guy I was baiting with, I says, make sure you put the lid on good. And not only did he not put the lid on good, he didn't tighten up the chain because I use a chain binder.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
And he didn't do that either. So the lid was off. And I went up the next day after he baited it and he filled it.
Yeah.
The lid was off. It was laying on his side. When I walked up, sow with two cubs were on there. I mean, it was all but empty.
Right.
I mean, they probably just parked it right there all night. And, so, yeah, I guess that's part of the deal.
You gotta be careful with that stuff. I mean, you gotta pay attention to it, and that comes with experience, I think, too.
Yeah. Another thing that I've used to keep my hands warm is one of those. It's kind of a tube thing that straps to the front of your jacket. And you could put your hand warmers in there. You ever try one of those?
I have one, or I had one. I don't know if I've ever used that up there or not. That's a good idea, though. Because
sitting there, I mean, you can get. I know guys who've gotten so cold that they were stiff,
right?
And had a hard time getting their bow drawn.
Pull your bow back, yeah.
If you get any type of weather,
exactly, yeah. Actually, that's a real. That can be a real problem, but I think I've learned that every hour or so I'll pull my bow back just to make sure I'm not too stiff to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's tough.
A friend of mine is a gal. She actually shot a bear last night, I think it was, or the night before. Anyway, but I was watching the video, and she was talking about how she shot it between storms. And
really?
So you could tell that it was cold.
Yeah.
Looked like it was snow around and everything.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for all that weather.
Yeah, for sure. Especially early season.
But even like the rain gear, I mean, you got to make sure that it's quiet.
Yeah.
Typically, that rain gear's noisier stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I try to. Man, that's the tough part when it starts raining and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I've tapped out before. I was like, screw it.
Yeah, I've been pretty miserable.
Because it is, even quality rain gear, like it's still kind of loud.
Yeah.
We have some really good rain gear, and it's louder than the others, normal clothing. So.
Right. That's part of the reason why I went with a blind when I started using the blind.
Right.
Was just for weather, because although, I found that most of the time, more times than not, they're not real active when they're storming.
That's what I figured too.
But
I totally agree.
I've had it several times where as soon as the storm breaks and, it gets nice enough, they're out.
Right.
Especially if the sun comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You pay attention to the weather, I guess, ahead of time before you go, so you know if it's going to break or not.
Yeah. Just assume it's going to be crappy if there's clouds around.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a few years ago, we had crappy weather all the way through the season. And I actually had to camp in a different spot and come in a different way because the road was washed out and you couldn't get up there. You had to come over the back in the snow. You couldn't even do that until the last week of the season. So I literally was baiting all year, walking 3 miles
Wow.
in just to get my bait in because you couldn't get any closer than that. And so I did that for the entire season. And then when I finally hunted at the end of the season, I camped on the backside, and that road just barely, like there was still snow drifts on it, but it was hard enough I could drive over the top of them, and I was able to hunt that way. And
You were taking your buggy?
yeah, I was. Yeah, it was actually a borrowed buggy at that time. I hadn't even purchased one yet.
Yeah,
but that's when I decided I really needed one. But yeah, it was pretty cool because there was no one else baiting. I had so much activity that year.
Did you?
It was awesome. Yeah, and I killed a great bear.
Oh.
But I think that's the year that one mean bear that I killed. I'm pretty sure that was the same year.
The aggressive one?
Yeah, I killed that one.
When you were on the ground, right? Was that the one?
No, I was in the tree stand.
Oh.
I had him and a salad were in the day before as I walked in, and I bumped them, but he wouldn't. The sow took off running, and he just walked up and stood there and just looked at me, but he finally just moseyed off. I couldn't get a shot at him, but then the next day he came in and he wasn't having any of the leaving things, so he got shot.
Yeah, you got it. You got what he deserved.
Exactly.
Talking about when you were saying that you didn't have much activity, have you had that problem in the past? People baiting too close?
When we first started baiting there, I don't know that anybody else was baiting that area for several years. We never saw any sign of anyone baiting. But now, yeah, there's several people. There's more baits now than there ever were, so it's a bit of a challenge. I think the one thing I have going for me is we've been baiting that same spot for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think the bears are used to going there.
Yeah.
So I do think that helps. But
Yeah.
I don't know how those other guys are, do.
Yeah.
I worry more about the hounds finding
I
their
know.
bait than anything else. And they don't even
Nothing
have to
against
find-
town hunting,
Right.
but I mean I've had people, it's happened where they run
Yeah.
their dogs off your bait, knowing
Right.
that.
Well, and even if they don't know, I mean, it could be an accident too.
True.
But it's
Yeah.
still, they chase all the bears out of the country. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a bummer. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's public land, so there's
Yeah.
not much you
They
can do
have
about it.
just as right to be there as we do. So.
Yeah. Have you ever went with hounds for bears?
Have not. I would do it. I'd rather do it for mountain lions or something like that.
Yeah.
But
The chase is pretty fun.
yeah.
I mean, and even like, I've never shot a bear out of trees. I've been on several, just to go along
Oh,
once.
got
And I
ya.
could have shot if they told me I could, but I just didn't, chose
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah.
But even for like lions, I mean, yeah, the chase is pretty fun. And,
Yeah.
and the one lion I shot out of a tree, I didn't think I was that wound up until my buddy told me I was shaking like,
Oh, is that right?
yeah, a dog shitting peach pits, as my dad would say.
Well,
But yeah, I didn't realize I was. But I mean, the chase part, is
yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah, that is cool. That's still one of my highest watched videos is that mountain lion hunt that Ken, that you filmed for Ken.
Yeah.
And
With Hobie.
With Hobie and Deadline Outfitters.
Yeah,
And that's such a cool.
that's one of the coolest
Yeah.
kill shots.
The kill shot was crazy.
Yeah,
Off
Yeah.
the rocks.
yeah,
He went for
a launch.
a launch.
He launched. Yeah.
I'll link that video because it is worth the watch. It's one of our first videos ever.
Yeah.
But man, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great video.
It was. That was a lot of fun.
So
Yeah, I think the second year I went for over the course of 2 or 3 years line hunting. and I just wanted to shoot. I wanted to shoot a Pope and Young one because I knew I'd life size it because it's not like something. It's not like a bird or deer you mount a whole bunch.
Right.
For me personally.
Right.
But we chased a lot of lines. I think I passed up like 13 or 15 lines before I actually. But granted, now the one guy I was going with, he was in it just for his dogs.
Yeah.
So he turned loose on females, or he didn't care. It was just about that.
Gotcha.
But in fact, I was guiding quite a bit then, and I remember he called me up. I was in Kansas, and he says, "Hey, you ready to go tomorrow?" And I was like, I didn't even recognize his phone number actually. And I says, "Go where?" And he goes, "Snow's awesome, and we'll go line hunting." And I was like, "Crap." I'm in Kansas.
Right.
And he treed a really big one that day. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And then I think it was the following weekend, I was back home, and that's when we got him.
Yeah.
Mine.
Gotcha.
So.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, it's been on a big old dead tree, cedar piece of wood there. And we're redoing it to put in the new trophy room at the house.
How's that
on
coming
a rock.
along?
It's coming along good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've got some, every time I turn around, we come up with new ideas and finding some new stuff. I went over the taxidermist last week and took my coos deer over there and to get it rolling.
Yeah.
And I've got quite a bit of stuff at taxidermist. But I don't really want them to get it done yet. But I just kind of want it so I know it's safe at their studio.
Yeah.
But until I...
well, it'd be nice to have it done for, like, when that room's done. So just so you guys know what we're talking about, Daryl bought a new house, purchased an older home down by the Snake River. It's a beautiful area. And he had made an addition to it that he's using for a trophy room. And it's going to be... awesome when it's done. I can't wait to see it. It's cool.
It's 1,200 square feet, 30 by 40, and with 16.5 foot peak, and got a bunch of wood and old wood, and got some great ideas for some of the flooring and then the stucco. Awesome. I think I told you about the stucco wall. How we're gonna?
I don't think so.
So it's on the back side of the house, of the existing house. The walls are 10 foot, so the other walls on the other part are 8 foot. But the house is old stucco, like actual stucco, not drive it.
Right.
And so it's a lot. The texture is a lot heavier than drive it. But that's going to be. We're going to do some cool rock stuff off there. With the lion and a bobcat. But I think a lot of the stucco part, we're going to actually paint it like granite rock.
Oh, okay.
And so the whole thing will be almost like rock. Not the whole wall, but like from the 10 foot on up to 16, 16 and a half feet. It'll all be that type of granite. So I think it'll look cool. I haven't seen it done before like that. But with the rocks kind of being blended in, it'll be kind of the same color rocks.
Okay.
I think it'll be pretty cool. We'll see how it turns out.
Right.
We'll have to maybe do a podcast sometime.
We absolutely should. Yeah. Do a tour of that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Anyway, so I guess we'll talk about next time we're on here. We'll talk about what we killed.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. If not next one, maybe the one after. It depends on how it goes early. I tend to get more action right towards the end of the season.
Do you? I know that's
not always true. I've shot. I haven't shot very many bears early in the season, but I've had opportunities to, and I've passed on them. Typically smaller ones that are hitting during the day all season. There's the ones that eat. Those are your popcorn burners there. Yeah. It's like you just want them to kind of go away, but
you let them eat a little and try to scare them off.
Exactly.
That's such a fine thing because a lot of times I wonder, like, do you really want to educate them?
Right.
So then they know to look up at the tree.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like people that go out early and call elk
Yeah.
or call turkeys,
Yeah.
and then they come in.
right.
You know, they're just educating them.
That's true. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that with the bears. I don't know. I try to make a little. I don't always. A lot of times I'll just let them do their thing until they walk off. But they're pretty skittish, so a lot of times they'll run off fairly quickly anyway. But yeah, there are times where you got to scare them off, or you feel like you got to. You probably don't, but quit eating all the damn popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. It's the price you pay, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right, buddy. Let's wrap this one up.
Sounds good. Yeah. Like
By the way, I didn't draw sheep.
Oh, actually, yeah. And I didn't draw Nevada again.
Yeah, me either, but I put in for tough hunts.
I meant to ask you, if you'd actually just put in for points or for the draws.
I put in a couple hunts, but they're really tough hunts.
Yeah.
And figure if I draw, I draw. If I don't, I don't.
Right. Yeah, it's a bummer. Mine shouldn't be that hard to draw. I can't do it. They're killing me.
I didn't draw Utah. That's another one I put in for hunts.
Okay.
So I still got a few others out there.
That you actually put for the hunts in or for points?
Yeah, I put in for hunt. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I put in for, Arizona mostly was points. California, I'll put in for Tule elk and sheep there, but that's a long shot.
Yeah.
But Iowa, I'm just going to get a point this year and go for sure next year.
Yeah. I still have time. I was thinking I didn't draw that darn tag, and I think Wyoming you got till the 31st of this month to put in. So I'm thinking I might try to get an antelope tag there since I didn't get that.
Oh, yeah.
So
go with your son.
Yeah, exactly. I was probably going to wait till next year. I really actually thought I was going to draw that Nevada antelope tag this year. Deer, I was pretty sure we wouldn't.
And I just bought a point for antelope this year.
Did you?
Yeah, because just time-wise,
it's hard to get it all in for sure. But I kind of screwed that plan up. So I think I haven't decided yet, but I think I might. But I have a funny story actually. Now that we're talking about tags, so I put in as a group hunt with Frank on a deer, the muzzleloader deer and elk here in Idaho. And he put us in for the tags, and so he went to buy himself super hunt tags, and he bought them off for me. He put my name down instead.
For super hunt?
For super hunt.
How much did he spend on you?
Only like $20 or something. But I was like, what did he do that for? So I asked him. He's like, no, I put myself in. I'm like, no, you didn't. So he starts looking. He's like, oh, no. So I am now in the running for a super moose tag here in Idaho. We'll see how that turns out. But
that'll be good.
Pretty funny.
Did he put you in for the right hunts on the other one?
He did. Yeah, I checked. Yeah, we were good. So yeah, we went to elk hunt. We did a muzzleloader elk hunt, and it'll be tough to draw, but we just said screw it.
Somebody's got to draw it.
Exactly. So we'll probably end up archery hunting elk again like normal, but which is fine. That's kind of what I planned on doing anyway. But you might as well.
Yeah.
Try.
The other one's just
Doesn't
a bonus.
cost that much money.
Yeah.
Let's try. So.
Cool. All right, man. We'll wrap this up, and we'll.
Great talk.
Yep.
It's been a while. It was nice. We had a lot to say today. That was
a little bit of coughing. Sorry about the coughing, but
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're done with that next time.
Yeah, I hope so. Me too. I'm so over it.
I could imagine. Yeah, that stuff lingers. It's tough. It's tough going.
Yeah. So. All right. Good luck this next week.
Thanks.
Chat with you later. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in a week.
Yeah. Got some cool.
Hopefully with some dead stuff to talk about.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right. Take care. See you guys.